Yo, it's your boy Bernard, and welcome to another episode of the Angry Blerd podcast, where I'll be discussing everything nerdy that has caught my eye this week. It seems like a lot of things that caught my eye this week are video games and film. So let's go ahead and get into it. We got a lot of casting news. And also, it wasn't announced, but it's about to be announced. The copyright for Donkey Kong has been registered to Universal. We will be getting our Donkey Kong movie as part of the Nintendo Cinematic Universe. Call it Nintendo Cinematic Universe or the Nintendo Video Game Cinematic Universe. So yeah, you can go to public.copyright.gov, and there's a detailed record view. It says Untitled Donkey Kong Project Motion Picture, date execution, May 9th, 2025, May 27th, 2025. Party 1 is Nintendo Studios LLC. Party 2, Universal Pictures, a division of Universal Studios City LLC. So, yeah, Donkey Kong will be coming out in the future. And while we're talking about Nintendo, the live-action Link and Zelda have been cast. So I think I told you guys like a few months ago that we were getting a live-action Legend of Zelda movie. The casting was revealed on the Nintendo Today app. I don't know what that is. Is that the clock app? But Bo Braxton and Benjamin Evan Ainsworth will play Link and Zelda. So Miyamoto, who is the head of Nintendo, said, "This is Miyamoto. I am pleased to announce a live-action film of The Legend of Zelda will be played by Bo Braxton's son. Will be playing Zelda, and Link will be played by Benjamin Evan Ainsworth's son." Nintendo executive Shigeru Miyamoto said in a statement accompanying the news, "I am very much looking forward to seeing both of them on the big screen." The film is scheduled to release in theaters May 7, 2027. So I've never seen either one of them in anything before, so I had to go to their Wikipedias. So Bo Braxton was doing a series that was on Disney Plus. I believe it just got canceled. Came out last year. It's called Renegade Nail. She did not play the lead character. She played the younger sister of the lead. And Benjamin Evan Ainsworth, I didn't see anything with him in it, but apparently he was in The Haunting of Hill House. He was in the 2022 Pinocchio movie that I believe Tom Hanks was in this. That Zemeckis, yeah. That was on Disney Plus. He's on a show now called Son of a Critch, which is a Canadian show. So definitely never saw that. Yeah. He was also on The Sandman on Netflix. So I might have seen the episode that he was in. It was an episode called Sleep of the Just. So I'm guessing that's from season 1 since it says 2022. But that was 3 years ago. I honestly can't remember much about that show. But yeah, congratulations to them. And we will be watching The Legend of Zelda May 7th, 2027. So the Street Fighter cast keeps just growing and growing and growing. And I'm surprised I don't see people on Twitter saying, "How's the director going to juggle all these characters?" The same way they were complaining about Superman. But Vidyet Jamwal has been cast as Dalsim in the Street Fighter movie. I don't think I've ever seen him in anything as well. But he is a Bollywood star. So, yeah, I've never seen any of his movies. But he's about 44 years old. He did a movie last year called Crack. Ooh, never mind. This was a box office bomb. So, yeah, I've never seen anything with him in it. He was on Ultimate Beastmaster on Netflix as the host and India's Ultimate Warrior. So, I guess that's like their version of American Ninja Warrior. But it might not be. I don't know. So yeah, he's going to be Dalsim. Still no confirmation on who will be playing Guile. If it's Cody Rhodes, if it's Alan Ritchson, who knows? We will find out whenever we find out. All right, my next story. We got an Assassin's Creed series coming from Netflix. And I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this. Netflix released a press release And they announced that the live-action Assassin's Creed series will be helmed by Emmy nominees Roberto Patino and David Weiner, who worked on shows like Westworld, Sons of Anarchy, and Halo. Yeah, Halo got canceled after 2 seasons. I mean, the other 2 shows, they wrapped up, but Halo. So yeah, they didn't give any details on the plot or anything like that. This statement says, we've been fans of Assassin's Creed since its release in 2007. Every day we work on this show, we come away excited and humbled by possibilities that Assassin's Creed opens up to us, Weiner and Patino wrote in a joint statement. Then they also said, beneath the scope, the spectacle, the parkour, and the thrills is a baseline for the most essential kind of human story about people searching for purpose, struggling with questions of identity and destiny and fate. It is about power and violence and sex and greed and vengeance. They said, but more than anything, this is a show about the value of the human condition, across culture, across time, and it's about what we stand to lose as a species when those connections break. They've got an amazing team behind us with the folks at Ubisoft and our champions at Netflix. We're committed to creating something undeniable for fans all over the planet. Okay. So I really do hope this is good, because the movie was horrible. I argued with my cousin's wife about it, and I told her you would be feeling very differently if you played the game. She said, Bernard, you don't know what you're talking about. I said, Teresa, yes, I do. I've played every single Assassin's Creed game since the first one. And by this time, I think like 3 or 4 was coming out. So, like, yeah, shut up. All right. I do believe it is trailer reaction time to something that I am not happy is coming out, but I will suffer through it for my dedicated listeners. And that is Mortal Kombat 2. So the character posters dropped. They've been promoting this movie like crazy. All right, let's go ahead and get this started.
Uno mas, thanks.
You're Johnny Cage. I love Citizen Cage.
It's Carl Urban as Johnny Cage.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
They should do a reboot.
Nobody wants that. Shit went out in the 90s.
Johnny Cage, you have been chosen to fight.
Tell me you're not some crazy fans. How are you doing that?
Are you coming or what?
So it seems like Johnny is the lead of this one instead of Cole.
Where the hell am I?
Katana.
Mortal Kombat.
Sonya, obviously.
It's a fighting tournament. To the death.
Shao Kahn.
Fuck that.
This is a war for the fate of your world.
Liu Kang and Kung Lao.
You dickheads in or what?
Yep, there's Cole.
Not some
There's
camp.
Jade.
I don't have
Jax.
transformer arms. Or shoot lightning bolts. This shit's got nothing to do with me. I'm an actor.
I find you annoying.
Not the face.
There's Baraka.
There's a war going on outside. You could run, but you can't hide forever, ever.
Sindel.
Time.
Uh-oh, Scorpion's back.
The hero you were meant to be. All right, you big ugly fuck. It's showtime. Get over here!
There's Noob Saibot.
Only the strong survive.
Well, it's nice to know that he dies again.
Freeze him! Are you shitting me? You don't have any powers?
Just incredibly handsome.
Now, to refresh my memory, I could have sworn Kano died. And I am not going to take it upon myself to rewatch that movie because it wasn't good. So, can someone make that make sense to me, please? Anyway, October 24th, 2025 for that one. We actually also got our first look for Hagrid and Harry for the Harry Potter series. And Nick Frost looks spot on to Robbie Coltrane's Hagrid. And kid who's playing Harry just looks adorable. He looks short. I mean, like he honestly looks like he's about 6 years old. So I was like, okay, it can work. But still no release window on when that series will be dropping. That dumb scooper Daniel RPK is out here throwing out the information like he is the connected Hollywood. He said it's 8 episodes, so I really hope it's like 10 or 12. But other than that, that's all we got on the Harry Potter series. And Mark Mylode will be directing the first episode. It looks like. All right, so I am going to talk about some Fantastic Four news. And honestly, sometimes it's just annoying when this stuff happens. John Malkovich was cast in this movie. And everyone was speculating who he was because at first everyone thought he was going to be Galactus, but then we found out that was Ralph Ensign. Then the teaser trailer came out, Super Bowl weekend, and we saw him. And if you are a fan of comic books, white guy, long hair, white beard, looks like Santa Claus, but he's not. Everyone was like, oh crap, John Malkovich is playing the Red Ghost. But it just came out that he has been cut from the film. So Matt Shankman revealed that Malkovich was cast to play the Red Ghost, who is one of the group's oldest adversaries. And like I said, he was seen in the trailer. But, editing, they cut him out. He said there are a lot of things that ultimately ended up hitting the cutting room floor when we're building a 60s retro future world, including all these villains, introducing these 4 main characters as a group, as well as individually, introducing the idea of a child. There was a lot of stuff to balance in this movie, and some things had to go ultimately in terms of shaping the film for its final version. He also said it was heartbreaking not to include him in the final version of the movie because he's one of my very favorite humans and one of my biggest inspirations. As a person who walks the line between theater and film and television, there is no one who's more inspiring than the founder of the Steppenwolf Theater Company. What he's done on stage as an actor and what he's done as a director in theaters as well as in film. And as just any film actor of incredible ability, I was honored that he came to play. Yeah, that sucks, bro. It's like, why would you? I get it. Stuff gets cut all the time. Like, there was this chick in F1. They cut her down to I think she only had 2 minutes of screen time. So it happens, but this is what happens when you really don't have a cohesive script. And that's been the rumor for a lot of these Marvel movies lately. They don't have third acts. And that's also the rumor of why Doomsday and Secret Wars got pushed back to December of next year. So I'm like, maybe the rumors are starting to be true. Anyway, I am going to take a break. Y'all can listen to the W ad, and I will be right back, okay? Okay. This episode is brought to you by Dubby. Dubby gives you focus and energy without the crash and jitters. It has no sugar, fillers, or artificial dyes. Mix 1 packet or scoop into 8 or 12 ounces of water. Stir or shake well. Some powderiness is normal, and it has all the important vitamins. So this has vitamin C, B3, B6, and B12. And it's made from coffee fruit extract. So drink it and go conquer a task. And go to Debbie.gg and use my promo code Angry Blerd 10 at checkout to save 10% on your order. That's Debbie.gg with promo code Angry Blerd 10. All right, I am back. So my next story is simply this. Invincible has already been renewed for a 5th season. So Amazon Prime made the announcement a few days ago with the announcement of Matthew Rhys also joining the cast. So they didn't really say much about it. They also didn't reveal who Matthew Rhys will be playing. If we're going where I think we're going, I think he will be playing Admiral Thrag. Or is it General Thrag? I don't know. He's basically the Zod to Mark's Superman. He kind of looks. He got a Caesar. He got a beard. I mean, not a beard. He got a very thick mustache. He's a very regal looking individual. So I can see Matthew Rhys playing him. But they also did an announcement video.
Season
about something seconds. So let's go ahead and check that out.
Season fucking 5. You know what that's called? A success.
All right, I will stopping us here. I'll just read it.
Oh, it keeps going.
It's just them having fun in the booths.
All right. Good to be back. Sorry I'm late.
I always forget Jay Farrell from the show.
Okay.
I mean, let's face it, you and I are the important ones here.
You know, I
don't think against those guys, but...
All right, brilliant.
So it says season 5 is on the way.
Invincible.
So yeah, if you read Invincible, you know what's coming. And, you know, I live and also resent being the comic book guy who my friends call and ask me about stuff like this. So I'm just like, you know, maybe if you decided to read comics 20 years ago when I was trying to get you to, you would know all this stuff. And I don't have to go into the vault of my head to try to remember stuff because I can't remember everything about every single comic I read. Like, I read comics like almost every day. Like, I just caught up on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And to do that, I had to read 3 books. I read Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Nation, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Night Watcher. 4. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Untold History of the Foot Clan, and the regular Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles book. So, yeah, I mean, I did kind of do this to myself by making myself, you know, this nerd. And I was like, where do I know Matthew Rhys from? But then I saw him. I'm like, oh, yeah, he was on The Americans. That was on FX, where him and Kerry Russell played Russian spies. And I think the show took place in the 80s. It says it's set during the Cold War. How long ago? When was the Cold War? Okay, so the Cold War was on and off from 1947 to 1991. So, but I'm guessing it was like, yeah. So it's starting in the Reagan era. So the series begins in January 81 and concludes in December of 87. So yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anything else with Matthew Rhys in it. And I didn't finish The Americans. I don't know why I didn't, but wasn't he just in Perry Mason? Yes, he was. But I didn't watch Perry Mason. Yeah, I'm looking at his filmography. Apparently he did a couple voices on Archer. Makes sense since that was all FX. Does he have any films that I might have seen? Because I always get him mixed up with Jonathan Rhys Davies. Oh, he was the voice in If. I mean, he was the ghost in If. He was in Cocaine Bear. He played Andrew C. Thornton. That might be all I've seen him in. What is Death Watch, and why does that sound familiar? That does not look familiar, but anyway, Taika Waititi is up to direct the next Judge Dredd movie. So the script will be written by Drew Pearce, who wrote Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation and The Fall Guy. Chris Kingsley, Jason Kingsley, and Bev Smith of Rebellion Developments, as well as Roy Lee of Vertigo Entertainment, Jeremy Platt, Natalie Viscuso, and Pierce are attached to produce. So they're pitching this, so they're looking for a studio to develop it. Honestly, I feel like it is time for a new Dredd movie. It's like we get one like every 20 years or so. Like, when did the first one come out? Like 95 or something like that? Let's see if we can look this up. All right, Judge Dredd in popular culture. All right, here we go. In other media, that's what I want. Yeah, 95 with Sylvester Stallone, which still has one of my funniest scenes of all time, where Ahmad Asante, who played Judge Rico, kind of makes fun of Sylvester Stallone. And I'm just going to post a clip here because it's like 40 seconds long.
I should have put you down myself, personally.
You know, I never understood that. Why did you judge me? Why did you judge me?
You killed innocent people.
The means to an end.
You started a massacre.
I caused the revolution.
You betrayed the law.
Law! I betrayed this! Your council's experiment, which failed!
You started a massacre. You killed innocent people. You betrayed the law. Law. And then we got Dredd with Carl Urban in 2012, which, in my opinion, is the better of the Dredd movies. And it's the only one I have. It's on the shelf. So, yeah, I mean, hopefully Taika doesn't Thor Ragnarok and Thor Love and Thunder Dredd, because Dredd does not have any humor in it at all. It's one of those comics that is very straight to the point and doesn't have time for jokes. All right. My next story is simply this. So, how long ago did Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse come out? Was it 2 years ago? So, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse has been delayed again. But, just for a little bit, okay? So, it was originally supposed to come out in 2024, but then it got delayed to June 4th, 2027. Now Sony said, you know what? We're just going to push it back 3 weeks to June 25th. And the reason why everyone is saying this is it's not because of production or anything like that. It's just because Sony wants more money. So it makes better sense to put this movie out in the summer because kids are going to be home. This is summer. And, like some students still go to school like upward until like the middle of June. Like New York is weird like that. Like they start, but it's because they also start later. So like, I mean, I don't have any kids, but I'm just going off my own personal experience as a child. We would go back to school in West Palm or in the state of Florida, because it's also school in Broward, at the end of August, beginning of September. Kids like in New York and probably a few more states up north, they wouldn't go back to school until after Labor Day. And the only reason why I know this is because DJ Envy always talking about, going on like one last summer vacation with his kids before they go back to school. I'm like, wait, they ain't in school now? But yeah, so June 25th, 2027. It sucks, but at least we know that the movie is coming out. All right, a little bit of Comics Corner before I get into the reviews. So, there's not really much on this besides the fact that Marvel decided to drop 2 teaser posters for the Ultimate line, and they are promoting Ultimate Endgame, which is a mini-series that's kicking off in December. So this is from Marvel.com. It said, this December, the showdown for the fate of the Ultimate Universe begins in Ultimate Endgame. Fans will learn about the event series at San Diego Comic-Con during the Marvel Comics Ultimate Universe panel Saturday, July 26th with Jonathan Hickman, Dennis Camp, and more. And that's all they gave us. So they gave us 2 teaser posters of basically paying homage to Avengers Endgame. So the first one, if you're a listener and not a viewer, it is basically a U that is being disintegrated, a la like the Avengers Endgame poster. And the second poster is a homage to that classic Avengers Endgame poster with like the stars and, Tony and Cap. Like Tony's in the background, Cap's in the foreground, and you got everybody kind of splattered about. And that was done by an artist by the name of Stonehouse. And honestly, I might get this printed as a poster. But I don't know yet. So yeah, December we'll get the series release, and I will have news for that for you guys. Probably not next week, but the week after, just because I want all the Comic-Con news. So that includes stuff that comes out on Sunday as well. All right, time to hit the spoiler alert. So, episode 3 of Dexter Resurrection, Backseat Driver, directed by Monica Raymond, and written by Nick Zayas. So Dexter is working as a U-Car driver, but he also gets a negative review from his most recent driver because he doesn't have a charger, he doesn't have water, he doesn't have snacks, anything like that. What is the name of the guy he's living with? I cannot remember because I am drawing a blank. Kamara. He tells him that his daughter does acupuncture, and Kamara's daughter Joy gives Dexter some acupuncture. I gotta look into acupuncture, honestly, because I've heard like nothing but good things about it. But Dexter is back to 100% after getting acupuncture. Angel also found out from Teddy that Dexter is in New York and tells Quinn and Masuka that he is retiring from the police force to chase after something. Harrison is getting closer to his coworker Elsa, who is the one who is the housekeeper at the hotel. So she leaves a few rooms, for him so he can sleep there. But then he also gets questioned about the police about, we saw you on camera with the guy you killed. So where did you go after that? And he first lies and tells them that he went to a bar and met a girl. But then they kind of see through that. And then he eventually drags Elsa into it by telling them that I'm homeless. My coworker basically leaves rooms for me to squat in. And, that kind of puts their relationship on the rocks. Dexter also sets up the dark passenger, Red, to kill him. So Dexter's back in the killing game. He orders his ketamine. He's found a spot to do his kills. And the reason we find out why this guy's been killing rideshare drivers is because he became bitter because his father was a cab driver who lost his job and committed suicide. But Dexter kills him. But before he is killed, Red reveals that he was invited to a dinner party with serial killers. And Dexter decides to attend in Red's place. But Dexter almost messes up because he didn't finish reading the invite. He needed a thumbprint to get in. So while Dexter's burning this man's body, he has to, pull his hand out and chop off his thumb for that. So, very good third episode. I was surprised to see Masuka and Quinn because I don't think I knew Desmond Harrington was coming back. I knew, C.S. Lee was coming back, but I thought, maybe they were going to be back in a later episode or something like that. But all in all, very good episode. Like I said, I wasn't expecting Quinn. And I wasn't expecting Batista to retire, but now Batista's going to go full rogue and track down Dexter himself for killing his old lady, Maria Legueta. And so yeah, Dexter Resurrection, Fridays on Paramount Plus. All right, let's get into it. Superman, written and directed by James Gunn, stars David Cornsweet, Rachel Brosnahan, Nicholas Hoult, Edie Beggy, Anthony Kerrigan, Nathan Fillion, Isabel Merced, Scala Grisando, Sarah Sampaio, Wendell Pierce, Beck Bennett, Michaela Hoover, Pewit Taylor Vance, Neva Howell, Maria Gabriela De Farra, Stephen Blackheart, Frank Grillo, Millie Alcott, and John Cena. All right. So Clark is struggling to balance his personal life and his hero life as Superman while he is dog sitting Crypto. And while he's beefing with the fellow Metas, the Justice Gang was Guy Gardner, Mr. Terrific, and Hawkgirl, and also dealing with his relationship with Lois on the verge of imploding. So after stopping a war between two countries, Lois pushes Clark on the ethics of Superman handling world conflicts with no oversight beside himself, which triggers the very sensitive farm boy. Little do Lois and Clark know that Lex Luthor is using the conflict to establish his own country called Luthor. And to do this, Lex has created his own Superman task force, which is known as the... what were they called again? I can't remember, but it consists of Ultraman, the Engineer, and the Raptors. feel like it was called Peace Corps or something like that. Earthwatch, that's what it was. So after breaking into the Foresters of Solitude, taking crypto and translating Jor-El's broken message to Kal-El, which actually calls for him to take over Earth, Lex has everything he needs to push Superman over the edge. The U.S. government gives Lex the authority to arrest and interrogate Superman, and, you know, this all happens in a pocket universe. Meanwhile, Metamorpho is also there, not by choice, but he is there to sympathize Kryptonite and being forced to be there because they have his child, Joey. The heroes work together to escape with the help of Mr. Terrific and Lois, and as the Daily Planet team gets their journalism on to clear Superman's name, Clark inspires the Justice Gang to stop the war while he beats the Engineer and Ultraman, who we actually find out is an evil clone. And they also stop Luthor, and they help save Metropolis from the rift that is open in the space-time continuum. So, you know, this movie has been getting a lot of slack for like the past week and a half. You know, people calling it super woke. Idiots like Jesse Waters on Fox News saying that, oh, you know, Superman's cape has MS-13 on it. Why? Because he's an empathetic individual. It's like, yo, y'all clearly don't read comics. You seem like the type of people who judge people on reading comics. So I'm just gonna go back over that clip and just listen to it.
And I went to the
like,
Yankees
who's this, Megyn Kelly?
yesterday at Citi Field. Go Yanks! And you should see the people sitting for the national anthem for "God Bless America." It's really just, I can't believe that we've come down.
They
to
called
that.
it Super Bowl.
I don't know. We don't go to the movie theater to be lectured to and to have somebody throw their ideology.
They clearly didn't watch the movie.
Be successful.
You know what it says on his cape? MS-13.
Wow.
Is it superimposed or it actually?
Jesse Waters is a cuck.
Just on the knuckles. One more thing is up next.
But yeah, so like I saw that, I'm like, y'all are just dumb. Okay, you didn't even see the movie. You probably liked the movie. But yeah, it was just like a bunch of BS like that. And obviously the Snyder Bros are all losing it because they're like, why is this movie making money? You know, like the movie made an additional $26 million more than Man of Steel did. So it's like, yo, y'all, you lost, okay? I think it's at like 300 and something million worldwide at the moment. I would have to check Box Office Mojo as of the time of this recording. But yeah, but then, you know, everybody was like, oh, how are they going to, you know, twist everything that Clark's said and blah, blah, blah. And like, back on the whole immigration thing, because James Gunn said Superman is an immigrant. Once again, this is not something that hasn't been touched on in Superman lore before. I can reference several episodes of Smallville where things in this movie have been referenced before. So, perfect example, the immigrant stuff. That was touched on in Season 6, Episode 9, Subterranean, where Tyler Posey, was it Season 6? No, it wasn't Season 6. Must have been Season 7? Hold on a second. No, it's not. Season was this? Oh, I'm sorry. Episode 9. I keep on thinking. I said episode. Okay, so it was Season 6, Episode 9. So, aired in 2006, Subterranean. Tyler Posey played a Mexican immigrant named Javier who crossed the border from Mexico to get to Smallville to find his mother, who was going to come and get him, but she was taking too long. And I think his father had died or something like that. And Martha, who was a senator at the moment because of Jonathan Kent dying, I don't think that's a thing where, you know, your spouse can take your Senate seat. It's like, we have to call immigration. And Clark gave her a whole spiel on like, you do know I'm an immigrant, right? You and Dad forged my papers so I can live here. So like, I'm going to run that scene back real quick. That was a minute long. So like, yeah, it's just like, y'all don't get it. We have to call immigration. It's like, Martha, really?
I told Javier he'd be safe here, and I meant it.
I want to help this boy as much as you do,
Yeah.
but I took an oath to uphold the law.
All he's trying to do is find his mom.
I know, but we have to go through the proper legal channels.
Was it legal when you forged my adoption papers? I'm an illegal immigrant, Mom.
Yeah, Clark.
You've been harboring me for over 17 years.
Your situation was entirely different. We had to protect you.
And I need to protect Javier. If I don't defend him, who will?
Clark.
There's a mother out there who hasn't seen her son in over 2 years. Do you really want to stand in the way of that? I thought you of all people would understand.
He read his mom for
Take him
filth.
always, okay? Just give me 24 hours before you call the deputy. I gotta go. I have to meet someone.
That wasn't even a question. But yeah, it's just like those moments like that, they exist in Smallville. And another thing that everyone was mad about, the plot twist of Jor-El basically saying, hey, you need to rule Earth. All right, so let's rewind the clock again. Season 4, I want to say. Episode 7. No, it wasn't season 4. What season was it? Snyder was still on there. So season... Was it 2? Yes. Season 2, episode 17. Aired probably 2003. Guest starred Christopher Reeve as Virgil Swan, who was an astrophysicist who spent his life obsessed with Clark's arrival and was able to decipher the Kryptonian language. And Clark at this time was finally learning how to read Kryptonian. And you know what his ship said? Let's play it, shall we? He got the ship's heart.
It's the ship's heart.
And there's a message inside.
Really?
So let's go ahead and pop that bad boy in. This was back when John Schneider was cool.
You used it yet? I didn't want to do it alone.
This is a 3-minute scene, so if you're not watching,
let's do it.
It kind of sucks that you're just listening to it. But yeah, I remember watching this in high school, and I called my friend Theo after the episode aired, and we were just like, dude. Man, I miss Theo. Rest in peace, man. But
it's hard to believe you were ever that small.
It's amazing how they decided to change the design of the ship as opposed from the first episode to like later seasons. All right, Art, go ahead, pop that heart into the ship. And let's read this message. I'm probably going to get flagged by YouTube, but I don't care.
What is it, son?
It's a message from my biological father. I'm sure I'm reading it wrong.
Why? What does it say?
On this third planet from this star, Sol, you be God among men. They are a flawed race, rule them with strength, my son. That is where your greatness lies.
And Mark Snow on the music, man. Rest in peace to him, too.
I think I was sent here to conquer. What kind of planet am I from?
Maybe you did misread it, Clark. But even if you didn't, it's you who decides what kind of a life you're going to lead. Not me, not your mother, not your biological parents.
What if it's part of who I am? Is that the kind of person I will become?
I always hated him reading that line like that.
Not a force
Not
for
using
evil.
any contractions whatsoever.
Because I am your father. I raised you. And I know you better than anyone.
So yeah, James Gunn took a lot of stuff from Superman lore, be it film, television. For example, the scene where Clark knocks down the door, looking for crypto. That scene also happens in Superman 1, but Lex plays a little bit more subtle. So in Superman 78, he says, "Oh, come on in, it's open, and my lawyers reach out to you about the door." So yeah, that scene that I just played from Smallville. That's basically 2 parts of the movie where, Lex exposes the message, which was allegedly deciphered, which might not be true, but we don't know yet. James Gunn is saying it's true. And the conversation that Clark has with Jonathan when he goes back to Smallville to recharge. like, yo, I'm your father. You know, we are just meant to guide you to do through this life. Okay, you make the choices that you want to make. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Like the Ultraman thing it wasn't easy. I mean, it was easy to figure out because as soon as, you know, Clark goes back to the fortress and says, how did he get in? The fortress is tied to my DNA. I thought one of two things. Either Ultraman is a mind-controlled Supergirl or clone. All right? And, like, I was leaning more towards clone because Ultraman is an evil version of Superman from Earth 2, where basically all the heroes are villains and all the villains are heroes. So, yeah, I mean, like, I really don't have any bad notes about this movie. I do really wish I got to see more of Ma and Pa Kent because I love those scenes. The scene where Jonathan and Clark are talking while Clark was eating his cereal or oatmeal. That really felt very small village to me, and like conversations I had with my dad growing up. And yeah, I'm not gonna cry. Guy Gardner is a sociopath because who eats cereal and drinks a glass of milk? That is the most sociopathic thing I've ever seen in my life. Anthony Carrigan did a good job with Metamorpho. I did not know Joey was an actual character in comics until I looked it up, because all the Metamorpho comics that I've read have never referenced Joey. So that was another deep cut that James Gunn pulled out. Mr. Terrific stole the movie, so hopefully James Gunn does like either a Mr. Terrific series or a movie, because Eddie got his redemption for how dirty they did him in X-Men First Class. Because how do you kill someone who isn't killable? Make that make sense to me. All right, but yeah, so let me just go ahead and give the rating. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. No notes, like I said before. It was just amazing. I do plan on seeing it again. The only notes I had were the mid-credit and the post-credit scenes. They were throwaways. If anything, I would have preferred for those scenes to be at like the end of the movie, and like don't do a mid, but just do a post of a Supergirl coming to get Crypto, because that was a funny scene, and that would have been like a very good post-credit scene, especially with her coming in. Thanks for watching them, biatch. But yeah, that's all I got to say. Alright guys, that was another episode of the Angry Blerd podcast. Be sure to rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. Go to w.gg, use the promo code AngryBlerd10 at checkout to save 10% on your order. I will not be reviewing I Knew What You Did Last Summer because I did not have time to watch the original, or I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, and the show is not canon to the film franchise. But alright guys, peace.